Trump insists that Killmar Abrego Garcia is an MS-13 gang member. Y'all ready? Let's go. Here we go. One more time. And let's wake up those paws. Let's wake up those paws. Let's wake up because it's 6 o'clock. And I'm a classic man. You can be mean if you look this clean. I'm a classic man. Calling on me like, oh, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing out there? It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC, and like I always told you, y'all could have went anywhere because it's Friday, May the 2nd. That's right, y'all, 2025. I'm your host, Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. Yes, we made it another day. 6 o'clock in the morning. That's right, y'all. It's our bottom line. That's right. Not my bottom line, not the bottom line. It's our bottom line. How is everybody out there this morning under the sound of my voice? Hope everybody's fantastic. I know I am. Slept so good last evening. What you guys been up to? It's Friday. Hope everybody had a fantastic week. We got one more day left, this one right here, to finalize this week. I said to myself, why not get spiffy and say what's up to you guys and really end the week off with a boop, with a bang. So that's what I decided to do. Hope everybody's happy out there. I told you guys already, smile for no reason. That's how you make yourself happy right there. And that's all that matters. Let me see who's in the building. I want you guys to tell me where you're from, because we like to make sure that we get content so that we can have a great dialogue in here. So who do we have up to bat? Let me just tell you guys straight up and down, we had a fantastic week. Yesterday, we had a real combat with a couple of crazy people in the comments. Y'all really held it down as far as everybody in the mods. My co-hosts, we don't have moderators here. We have co-hosts who send out warnings and say, Bugatti, get them. And next thing you know, boom, we get them out of here. So I just wanted to let you guys know we've been doing a fantastic job with that. Sometimes we're going to get thrown off course, but we're still going to get the message out. So who do we have up in the building? We got Timogen, Utah. What's up, y'all? Good morning from Utah, Salt Lake City. We got Kendra Walker in the building. Wait a minute. Is that Kendra? Are you in VA? Let me ask you. Go ahead. Come on, girl. Stop playing now. You know I can't remember all the states. You got to keep on putting up where you from now. Maine Arbor says Arizona's up in here. Oh, yeah. There you go. See, and I didn't even see that, but I knew where Kendra was from. You see that? I scrolled up and she said, Grand Rising from VA. There you go. Maine Arbor, Bugatti. Yeah, OOGOTTI. BOGOTTI. Oh, yes, double O. All right, let's go. Casey, what's good, Casey? I know you from the hood. Rebecca, good morning from Grand Rapids. Batty Lynn, one of our first and our most dedicated co-host that's up in here. Just want to let you guys know I really appreciate you guys, and we got a lot to do in the clip. I hope you guys don't have a problem talking about deportation. I'm going to just pre-warn you. We got a lot going on with this one gentleman because there's a lot of pushback. I'm going to tell you like this. If I had this sort of promotion coming from the president of the United States that this guy, Abrego Garcia did, whew, I'd be really rich. We'd be real straight right now when it comes down to our promotion. But hey, it is what it is, and we're going to just keep it going. All right, y'all. You know what I want to do? I want to get to work because we got so much in the clip that we need to get going. And at first, how do I want to start this off? I want to start this off by doing what? Reading the thumbnails and breaking down the titles that we got. So what we got to do? Let's get into these titles. Hope everybody's having a good day. Don't forget to chime in. Thank you for all the love and all the hearts coming up on the side already. Don't think that doesn't make me like the Hulk, make me like, that makes me stronger. Thank you so much for the love, you guys. But We got work to do. So without any further ado, let's do it. Let's get into this title. We've got Trump insists that Killmar Abrego Garcia is a MS-13 gang member. As you can see, we've got the president here. He was in a meeting yesterday at Channel 4 News, and he basically pulled out the piece of paper, and they were just basically explaining what is going on with the tattoos. And they said that the actual lettering that was added, MS-13, was done in Photoshop. We're going to get to that, guys, and break that down as well. I'm a master at Photoshop. I'll be able to explain that to you very thoroughly. We're going to have a good time with that. Moving forward, Kristi Noem asked point blank about her purse being stolen from restaurant, basically trying to say, Kristi Noem, your security is basically Secret Service, right? Yes. So how is it possible for your purse to get stolen? Good question. Guess what? We got a new head of the Secret Service, probably because of that. Let's keep on moving, because in the subtitles, we also have a growing number of, what's that? Retailers. Oh yes, this is one of my favorite topics. You know how we always talk about the potato chips and how they're raising the prices of a 50-cent bag of potato chips. Now it's $2.59. I found one that's going to be perfect, and relative to that, you guys, let me start this over. A growing number of retailers throughout the USA caught adding on extra fees. Could that be true? Let's get into that. We got one more, last but not least. The police warn of people scrubbing $1 bills and turning them into $100 bills. I don't know if I kept that story. I think it was about 11 months old. So we're going to scrub that. We're not going to do that one, but we got enough to cover. That's 11 months old, guys, so I'm not going to cover that. We're going to cover this one. And it seems like someone's already helping me out, getting it going. Don't know how that happened, but let's go ahead and get that going. So let's go ahead and get into this title, you guys. The first thing that we're going to get into is our President Trump explaining the tattoos on the hand of Killmar Abrego Garcia. Let's keep it moving, you guys. Good morning. Let's go.
And this moment from President Trump's ABC interview is raising eyebrows today.
He had MS-13 on his knuckles.
He insists that deported immigrant Killmar Abrego Garcia has MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles.
Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshop. So let me
That was Photoshop, Terry. You can't do that.
They're talking about this image Trump posted on social media. It's a photo created by the Trump administration to bolster their case that Abrego Garcia is a member of the notorious gang.
I got to explain this right off the top and in the beginning so that this story does not get mixed up, and I'm going right into it. Normally I stack the deck. There's no time for it. Got to show you guys an example. So now, marijuana plant, M, smiley face, S. This here could be something that they depict as the number 1. The skull over there, of course, it has nothing to do with the 3, but the eyes and the 3 lineups definitely do. When you're dealing with GANGSs, that's the way that they identify in a different way so that their cover's not blown. We're not stupid. So let's keep on going, because they're going to really try to wring the rag out on that. And guess what happened? Another thing. Of course, this man does not have the letters MS-13. Someone in the White House added those letters to explain what I just explained to you guys. Simply as that. We're going to keep on moving. Let's go.
The faded tattoos on his knuckles show a marijuana plant, smiley face, crucifix, and skull. But MS-13 was pretty obviously photoshopped.
Do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop?
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them.
He had MS, as clear as you can be, not interpreted.
I asked an expert, author Stephen Dudley. Are those images that we see on the hands of MS-13 members?
There are some tattoos that signify definite membership. Those would be things like MS-13 on your chest or just MS. But a lot of the other ones are in this gray area. There's a lot of people with
BS on the gray area. That's why I love the fact that I'm here. And I like the way I like to break stuff down. always, I rock tattoos as well. You don't always want to blow your cover and say who you're down with. There's many other GANGSs that use other logos and things like that. I'm not going to call their name out because I don't want no problems with them. But y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to explain the differential and the way that they cover themselves depending on the sort of affiliation that they have. If you're going into the field as a top spy, you don't want to blow your cover and have certain things on you that tell that you're a top spy. So what you do is you use other measures to cover that. Keep on going, you guys, because we're not thunderunts over here. Let's keep going, because this is what they're saying. Matter of fact, let me just keep on. Let me just go to our next clip, which basically helps out in the understanding of where we're going with this morning. You guys, I hope you guys don't have a problem with me breaking this down to you. It's just a lot of stupidity that was going on that I had to make sense of. So that's what we're doing right now. All right, so where's my mouse at? Come on now. Come on, mouse, stop playing. Okay, I think my mouse just came back. Oh, yeah, so I don't know what's going on, you guys. Having a little bit of technical difficulties here. This has never happened before, so we're gonna see what's going on. A little bit of technical difficulties here. Mouse just froze on me. What the hell is going on? I can't do the show without you. Come on now. Can't do the show without the clips. My damn mouse just froze. Sorry, guys. We're having a real major technical difficulty here. I don't want to say that we're going to shut down our whole show, but it might have to be that because of the fact that this thing just shut down. Yeah, because I got no response from my mouse here. I don't know if you guys are going to be patient with me, but man, this is a first. This is a first. Yeah, we got to shut this thing down and bring it back up. So I'm going to try to entertain you until we can get that going back up, you guys. First time this has ever happened to me. I know that this other timeline is going to probably pop up, the one that always comes up on Chrome. Hey, it happens. Y'all know we done did 100 and something episodes. I've never normally had a problem like this. You guys want to... Yeah, but it's not the keyboard. It's something got stuck right there. I don't know what happened. This has never happened before. And what I hope doesn't happen is when I open Chrome again, that other old timeline that keeps on popping up doesn't pop up, because it does that sometime. I think there probably was a reset that Apple did last night that I didn't catch. That's probably the problem. But yeah, you guys, we got a lot to cover. I hope this other timeline does pop up. And this is a good time to see if you guys actually rock with me too. Because a lot of times I wanted to know, what if you actually did another show without the clips in the back, just talking about stuff that you actually thought would be cool. Also thought about doing a Q&A. So how about this be a chance right here? Let's do a Q&A right now. You guys can ask me any questions that you want. I'll answer those questions until we get this thing back rolling. Let's go ahead and ask Bugatti Q&A. So questions to me, I'm going to take questions right now. You guys can ask me anything that you want. I'll basically follow up, and how are we going to do it? Let me just make this up as I go. I'm going to answer your questions, and from that, probably get a little more information about who I am, what I do, or whatever like that. Any more information about the show. We could actually talk about the talent search that's coming up right now that we have going on in New York State. That's going to be in all 5 boroughs. That's going to be hosted by myself. I'm going to be able to give you guys, what's that again? $1,000 when it comes down to the main host. I'm going to answer a few of you guys' questions right now, but hopefully we get our timeline back, because if we get our timeline back, we can actually keep on moving forward with the show. You also see that we lost our background too, so that's pretty crazy. We're gonna see what happens here. We're gonna just hope and pray. Let's see what happens if we get our timeline back. We get our timeline back, we could keep moving forward. It's still pretty early, only 6:14. Yeah, so let's see what we got here. I want to see if Chrome opens back up. I got a really good show lined up for you guys this morning. Definitely want you to check it out. So let's see if I get my timeline back. That has definitely never happened before. I'm talking about the whole thing froze up with the mic and everything. All right, so let me get to some of you guys' questions real quick while Chrome opens up. If it's gonna, actually, I'm going to freestyle this joint. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let y'all rock with me. I'm going to freestyle this. I can go pull all them clips myself. I know which ones they were. Looks like, yeah, and that's pretty weird because they actually let me into my joint without even asking me for my password or anything. So we're going to just rock it through the history. Woo! First time this has ever happened to your boy. We're going to rock it through the history out. We're going to see if we can do it. And wait a minute. Oh, we got responses from this. All right, so maybe we get something here. Damn sure taking a long time to open back up. Let's see what timeline we get up here. All right, let me come to some questions down here, see what you guys got. My grandparents trying an air fryer for the first time. Okay, cool. He's in jail right now. Whoa. What else you got? Have you ever served time? No, I haven't. Never at all. Get a job, bro. I got a job. I have a business that I run downtown. It's a business, a building management.
It's official. Elon is leaving the White House.
I wear a lot of hats, and as you can see, that's true.
We actually got our timeline back. If we got this one up, we got everything. If that just popped up, that means we got everything. That means we got everything, y'all. Hold on a minute. If that just popped up, that means that timeline is down there, and we can keep moving on with the show. See how God works? God works in mysterious ways, but guess what? As long as he works, he works. That's what's going on here. Let's get into our President Trump. Nah. We dismissing that, and we going to really thug this out. We're going to thug this out. Let's go. Yes.
They're talking about this image Trump posted on social media. It's a photo created by the Trump administration to bolster their case that Abrego Garcia is a member of the notorious gang. The faded tattoos on his knuckles show a marijuana plant, smiley face, crucifix, and skull. But MS-13 was pretty obviously photoshopped.
Do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
And you think it was Photoshop?
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them.
He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted.
I asked an expert, author Stephen Dudley.
So I'm not going to make you guys watch that again. You already watched it with me. We got to get to the next clip because what we're doing here is we stacking the deck. We don't got no background, but we thugging it today. This is like our 170-something episode. If we can't do this together...
Hello, sir. How are you?
If we can't do this together, we're not going to get through anything together. All right, so now what I want you guys to see is Lindsey Graham basically. He basically... Ooh, y'all done threw the whole timeline off. Whoa, let's go. The whole timeline is crazy over here. The timeline is different. Oh, God, y'all get to see how I do this. All right, okay. That's what we're going to do. All right.
Thank you to both of you and your families. Thanks for your distinguished service, and you're willing to serve.
The dominance that the cartels had at that time.
Yeah, but give me a list of what you need that you don't have. Do you think Mexico, thank you to both of you and your families. Thanks for your distinguished service, and you're willing to serve at the highest level in your field. Mr. Cole, you mentioned something that most Americans probably need to pay more attention to. 300 Americans die every day. Did you say that from fentanyl poisoning?
Yes, sir.
And fentanyl comes across the U.S.-Mexican border. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it does.
And the precursors to fentanyl come from what country mainly?
From China.
Do you agree that China has done very little to combat the precursor problem that exists in China?
I would agree. Yes, sir.
Do you believe that China...
But they are well recognized based on tattoo.
Okay, so I got to explain what happened just now, because now, first we had the tattoos where Trump was not even explaining correctly what the MS-13 numbers meant. He was explaining the lettering that was on top, but he didn't explain that was determining what the terminologies basically meant. So M for marijuana, S was for the smiley face, the 1 was for that. That's what he's basically breaking down. Here we have an official who's dealt with MS-13 and terroristic gangs all the time, who can basically really break down the tattoos when Lindsey Graham basically asked him these questions. Keep on going, you guys. I got it back.
And different
Do you have a
Paraphernalia.
photo I think our office provided to you?
We spoke, yeah, we spoke about it earlier. Yes, sir.
Can you give this to us? All right, this is a photo of tattoos of Mr. Abrego Garcia. Much attention's been paid to his case. I think he's in Venezuela. Can you see the photo here?
Yes, sir, I can. I have a copy of it.
Okay, based on your time and experience and expertise in the DEA, what does that photo or those markings suggest to you?
Well, they suggest that he's an MS-13 member, that those are his markings. That's his brand. Not only my time at the DEA, but currently I participate.
So the start with a leaf, what's that a sign of?
Marijuana.
Okay, the next one is,
His smiley face.
okay, and the next one is,
I believe that's a 1. I can't, it's a little blurred out for me, sir.
Yeah.
And then the last one's a 3 backwards.
okay.
From here. Yes, sir.
So based on your time as a DEA agent in the field, particularly in Mexico, these tattoos are consistent with MS-13 associations.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Do you know of any other set of combinations that would suggest some other organization this represents?
With this particular one, no, sir.
Thank you.
Now, moving forward, we got Stephen
Thank
Miller.
you, Senator. Senator Blum.
I'm going to keep on stacking this deck right now because we got a lot to catch up on. Now we got it going on. We're going to get to work. Stephen Miller straight up accuses the media of shilling for Killmar Abrego Garcia. He literally scorched the entire media on this one. We're rounding this story up for a reason. I promise you guys, we're going to bring it home on the next clip. I promise you. Watch this. Just stick with me on this.
And one on Abrego Garcia, please. The administration is reportedly inquiring about his return. Is that to check a box for compliance, or does President Trump want him back on U.S. soil, or both?
So, as Secretary Rubio said yesterday in the cabinet meeting, in tortured and murdered, it is a sad reflection of present danger to the safety of the American people. And it is a sad reflection on the state of our media and many of the outlets represented in this room that you obsessively try to shill for this MS-13 terrorist. Well, no coverage occurred in your papers about any of the Americans that were raped and tortured and murdered by the illegals that Biden was importing into our country. You know, you talk about due process. The Biden administration made the decision to give extensive due process to 2 trained Nicaragua terrorists that were apprehended at the border just a couple years ago. They were 2 gentlemen. They were from Venezuela. They were members of trained Nicaragua. The Biden administration Border Patrol apprehended them and made the decision to provide them with extensive due process, put them onto a program known as supervised release, and put them on ankle monitors so that they could go through a lengthy legal judicial determination as to whether these legal aliens who had just set foot on U.S. soil might want to live in the United States for the rest of their lives. What was the result of that decision? What was the result of that choice that was made? Those 2 men kidnapped a young girl named Jocelyn Ungary from her family. They beat her, they sexually assaulted her, they tortured her, they stripped her, they murdered her, and they dumped her body. That is what the Biden administration's policy was. Most of your papers never covered her story when it happened. To the extent that you covered it at all, it was because President Trump forced you to cover it by highlighting it repeatedly over and over again. He had to shame you into covering it. And each and every one of you that sides over and over again with these MS-13 terrorists, to the extent that you have the financial means to do so, you all choose to live in condos or homes or houses as far away from these kinds of gangbangers as you possibly can. If I offered any one of you a rent-free home with no taxes to pay in any of these gang neighborhoods, and I said your neighbors are MS-13 terrorists or Mexican mafia or Sinaloa cartel or trained Nicaragua, I couldn't pay you to live there. But yet you, with your coverage, are trying to force innocent Americans to have these people as their neighbors, and that one day their daughter may be abducted from their home and raped and murdered.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, you guys. We got it back. Now I want to know, how come they don't cover stuff like that? How come they only cover the, well, you know, the guy have to have his proper day in court. It's not fair for this guy or whatever. How come they never cover the stories about what he just said? I know it sounds like he just throwing it out there wildly, but it's true. They never cover these stories because I never even heard about those two guys or anything like that. I'm in the comments now, y'all. We got enough stacked up. Let's go. Let's go. Get a job, bro. I like that one. I said it twice. I like that one. That one is funny. Man, if you know how hard I work. Stephen Miller is a badass. Okay, what else we got? That was Tashiku. Okay, what we got? Jay says some of them are living in the judges' houses. Oh yeah, you're right about that. The one that was in, I forgot, what was that, Milwaukee, Jay? But Natalie, good morning, Natalie. Good morning. Stephen Miller is a savage. Good morning, Jen says, double tap that screen, support the channel. Mark says, Garcia is definitely MS member. Main Arbor says, I like Stephen Miller, LOL. What else we got? When it comes to that game, it's a crime. They are terrorists. Okay, Kendra Walker says, I mean at Kaz. What else you got? Duck. What else we got? Queen says, okay, y'all. So do y'all actually think this person is a MS-13 gang member? Because I got one more clip that might bring it on home. I'm gonna play the beginning. I'm gonna skip through the BS, and then we're gonna get one more clip going. Want you guys to see this right here. I basically had this in the kitty because of the fact that is this person a gang member? What has he actually been up to? When he got arrested, what was his like? What was he like? Can he speak English? What's going on with him? What type of movements does he make? We're going to figure that out right now because we got a clip of when he actually got arrested. Let's go, y'all. Told you I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Let's go. I'm back.
Good, and you? All right. Everything good? You got a bunch of people here, don't you? It's 1%. Yes. Go back to work.
Gotcha. Where you working at?
Where? St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, remember, it started off, he said St. Louis, Missouri, when the officer said, where are you working? St. Louis, Missouri, boom.
Missouri? Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm from Maryland.
Okay. Now, the reason I stopped you, we was running 75 down through here.
75?
Yeah. Of course, this is 65 through here.
I know, I go to 70.
Going 70?
You're still 5 over. You just told me yourself.
It's 70 or 65?
It's 65.
Oh, I can see it, sir.
We got all your
Because
info.
I see the other, the speed limit, I see the 20.
Yeah, it jumps up and down.
So we waiting for the license, registration, and the paperwork. All right, we got a guy that straight up down saying he's honest. He works in Missouri, lives in Maryland, just going to work. He does construction. Oh, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's go.
My license?
Yeah, your driver's license, your registration, and your proof of insurance.
Oh my God. Okay, sure.
Do what?
The problem with my license, right?
The problem with my license, we're starting it right now, y'all. Here we go.
Now it's expired, right?
It's suspended?
Suspended because I have my permanent employment, so like 2 years experience. So I need to. So right now I'm waiting the paper for migration.
It's been expired, he said, for 2 years. Y'all heard him. 2 years driving like that, expired. Come on.
For I go to the NBA, so you know.
So now he looking through all these random papers.
To my boss.
This is what we call the Sean Ye. He know he ain't got no damn insurance. He knew his license was suspended. Tell the truth. We're gonna zoom up a little bit because I'm not gonna make you guys wait through all of this right here. But I do want you to see when the officer catch him saying, "I thought you live in Missouri."
Yeah.
Where's he live?
His boss live in 3 different places.
Whose car is it?
It's to my boss.
Your boss.
My boss, yeah.
Where's he live? Where's your boss live?
My boss right now is staying in Maryland, but he lives in Texas. Okay. Houston, Texas.
His boss is in Maryland, but he live in Texas. A lot of states, y'all, just stacking these states, right?
Have you got the proof of insurance?
Yeah, I don't know where to put it. My boss. Let me call.
So where are you guys coming from right now? Where are you coming from?
From San Luis. Actually, I work in San Luis. So right now, finished. That place finished. So I go back to the house in Maryland. Next week, I'm going to make it tonight with the other project.
I thought you was going to Missouri.
The next project, I told you, the next project the next week is everybody going to Nashville. The next project, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, next project is in Missouri. Next project. Now, I thought you was, yeah, okay, keep on going.
What do y'all do?
Huh?
What kind of work is it?
It's construction, like remoderation, painting, drywall, everything like that.
Does anybody else have a driver's license?
Driver license?
Yeah.
No.
8 men in the car, an extra seat added to the truck. Extra seats added to the truck, right? He said they do construction. They ain't got no construction stuff in there. Driving with a suspended license for 2.5 years. Oh, and he's from like 3 different states. Keep on going.
Nobody.
Only me, so it's there for real.
Can you find your insurance?
If I'm calling insurance. You say?
Your insurance. Can you find it?
I call my boss because I don't know where put the car.
Okay. I'm gonna go back here and run your license and stuff real quick, okay? I'll be right back. How dark are your windows? Huh? How dark's the back windows?
Window?
Stand by. How dark are they?
The colors.
Yeah.
From Texas is good.
How many rows have you got in here? 4?
Where?
4 seats? 4 rows of seats?
Yeah, it's three seats. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Did y'all put an extra one in?
Huh?
Did y'all put another one in?
No.
They come like this?
This is the truck.
I've never seen one with that many seats in it.
What you say? It's my boss.
I said I've never seen one with that many seats.
Oh,
in it.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's why I was asking if you put an extra one in.
Yeah.
No, it's the same. Like this.
Okay.
So now we got the dog.
You know what you got, right? You know what you got here, right? He's hauling these people for money, is what he's doing. But sometimes they commingle dope. And there's 8 people in there.
Yeah. Put an extra row of seats in there.
Yeah. So he's getting paid all these people, probably to Maryland, I would say, if I had my guess.
So okay, you're getting paid to haul these illegal immigrants from one state to the next. So you come here to do that, and you want all these people to fight for you. When they do, it's like it's kind of hard for people to have your back when you literally doing what they saying that you shouldn't be doing. So that's what I'm talking about, you guys. Now you get the full scope. And of course, you don't want to have MS-13 on your hand if you got to be doing driving and seen by police and all of that. You want to stay a low incognito member. Possibly. All of this is alleged from our bottom line, you guys. Let me go ahead and get this back up here the way that this is supposed to be, because we back in the saddle right now. I hope you guys like the way that came together, because I had to do it that way just to get certain things out of the way, just to explain certain parts of what we do over here. It has to make sense. I'm in the comments right now. What y'all got to say? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What else we got over here? I don't have insurance. Oh no, condom bombs, element. Oh, what else we got? Memphis says you want to look normal, but the guys will rank. Got that. So, okay. Casey says really though. What else we got? Tenning says you can't make this stuff up. Okay, where is Benedict? Okay, what else? What else we got? Y'all got to stay on topic. Betty Spaghetti says, LOL, condom bombs is kind of funny. Okay, I don't know what you guys talking about. We got Spartacus says that look like he's trying to stall. He knows he's done one lie leads to another. He's done. He's out of here. The woman knows they're done by their expression. Yo, whoever this is, Spartacus, you always stay on point, and I love the fact that you do that because you keep the dialogue going correctly. Sean says they don't follow the process to enter. They don't need the process to exit. Easy as that. What else we got? Mad Hatter says, good morning, sir. Open your door. You are going to El Salvador. No, I'm not. Betty Spaghetti says, oh yeah, you talking to them. Allowing the sick people to traffic children isn't right either. That's right, you guys. We did that yesterday with the, we covered that yesterday, Betty, with the 14-year-old. That's why we got to be really careful about people like this, because some people will think, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not that bad. Yes, it is, because what if that was that 14-year-old that was in the car yesterday? She was hidden in the back, and there was 5 men talking about they were going to do construction work. And they were bringing her to LA to see some family members, and her parents didn't know about it. This is the stuff we're talking about, and we got to keep on going right now, because now we've got the question that's finally been asked directly to Secretary Kristi Noem when she's been asked point blank. If you, how'd your purse get stolen when Secret Service is basically the people that basically look out for you? If Secret Service is supposed to be so good at their job, how was your purse stolen? We're going to get into that, you guys. Let's go ahead, because we got to get it. We got to cover that part right now. Let me see if I can find it, because you know, like everything is everywhere right now, but we rocking. We're going to keep it moving.
The senator mentioned that he was looking at legislation, but is there something that the Forest Service can do already before you even have to have legislation to try to handle disputes like this? And if I could also have a follow-up for Secretary Noem, how do you feel about your protection from the Secret Service, given what happened with the incident at the restaurant recently in Washington? I'm Evan Press with CNN.
Look, here's the deal. If this was in South Dakota, common sense would analysis and reorganization, and so news will be coming out on that soon. But let me just say quickly, and then I'll turn it over to Secretary Noem, that they chose to. You know what I would say about the Forest Service and the Biden administration is they did not have to take this action. They chose to take this aggressive persecution of this family to the extent that they did. There are already provisions in law that allow the Forest Service to resolve this and could have given the Maud family the land that their family has been on for generations without a fight like this, without a persecution like this. So this was a purposeful attack on their family and their freedom and their livelihood that, thank goodness, because of a new administration, we don't have anymore today. As in regards to your question, we have Sean Curran, who's the new director of Secret Service, who I have full faith and trust in. And I would also say that my experience was just a little bit of what the American people have been living with for years. The American people have been living in communities where they've been victimized by illegal criminal aliens, and the perpetrators of the crime against me had done this dozens of times to people across this country over and over and over again from city to city. I'm thankful they're off the streets. I'm thankful that they're now going to face the punishment for their crimes, and it gives me new motivation and the president new motivation every day to continue to do the work that we're doing, and that is cleaning up America and making sure that we're getting it safe again for the families who live here.
One quick thing, I hope it isn't lost on the press, especially, that while we're standing here with a fifth-generation rancher with their 2 young children who are great Americans who've never done anything wrong, that the Biden administration was actively working to put in prison while at the same time.
So what Trump did was basically lifted that order on that family right there. That's a whole nother story, you guys, that we did not cover. It's not that, not that I don't want to, but I think that we just need to keep moving and go ahead and deal with this right here. What do you guys feel? You got the #1 security in the land. How is it possible for your purse to get stolen? I've been asking that question for a long time now. Like, how is it possible? So many heads would have rolled. You're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, and you're fired. and then that person that did it, ooh, you're talking about the handcuffs. They need to, they're gonna really do something with him because they have to make an example of that person because of the high level of security that he was able to break through and the money that he basically stole. Her badge, probably had a pistol in there, something like that. What you guys got to say about her answer towards Secret Service? Memphis says, just because some people have a job don't mean they're good at it. Okay, Natalie says, security is most likely compromised, my opinion. What else you got? You got Casey that says, I don't trust the Secret Service whatsoever. Then we got Kendra that says, at hoes, we don't snitch. Oh, at hoes, we don't snitch. Okay, Death Metal Jesus says, FBI watching me, watching him, watching TV. Mark says, your security was sleeping. Okay, what you said, what y'all got over here? Lord says, we watching him, watching TV. That's what you're doing. Main Arbor says, J Bone knows. What else you got over here? We got academically known as symbolic interaction. Okay, we're gonna keep on going. Natalie, what you got? Your people not sure why you're attacking Bugatti, but it's miscellaneous anger. We don't even pay attention to them, Natalie. We're gonna keep on going. I'm not sad. I won't see some idiot with a skull tattooed on his face. There you go. There you go. What else we got over here? Casey says the tattoo is so easy to figure out. Thank you so much, Casey. Let me make sure. Yes, Casey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having those two words that start with C and S. Common sense. Yes, of course they're not going to have it MS-13 on there. They got to have it on the low. Y'all know about the other LA gangs and the other ones that do stuff like that, but they don't want to let the LA police know that they down with the gang. So y'all know, they already know that the police know what's going on, so they got to try to throw them off, even with the colors. They wear other colors so that they don't think that I'm down with this color or that color. They might wear purple or black or something. So they think that they're throwing somebody off, but we not stupid. People like us, Casey, are not dumb. We know what's going on. President Trump basically now, he holds a cabinet meeting at the White House, said a lot of important things that I think that you guys are going to be wanting to hear. And here we go. We're going to get into this. Okay, you guys also continue to let me know where you're chiming in from, because I really like to make sure that we're getting content from where you guys are from. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
That is usually 100%. So I think it's an amazing tribute, and Christy, congratulations, and Tom and everybody else. It's an amazing job, actually. And it was done very quickly. We officially designated Tren de Aragua, MS-13, and the Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and we're expelling these monsters from our country rapidly and working with the Department of Justice. Pam, you're doing fantastic. Your people are amazing. We're having some judge problems that everybody's reading. We're having some judges that don't like, killers, murderers being thrown out of the country. So I don't know what their problem is, but we have little difficulty. We won on the basis of a great border and of getting criminals out of our country. That was why we won every swing state. We won by millions of votes. We won everything, every metric. We won by a lot. It was a massive victory, and we won, I think, largely because of this issue. I put this issue as #1 issue, and they don't want us to do what we're supposed to do, and I don't think that can be. I hope the Supreme Court is going to fully understand what's going on. We have to get the criminals out of our country, and that's the basis under which we won the election. Core GDP, and this is, you probably saw some numbers today, and I have to start off by saying that's Biden. That's not Trump, because we came in on January, this is the quarterly numbers, and we came in and I was very against everything that Biden was doing in terms of the economy, destroying our country in so many ways, not only at the border was more obvious, but we took over his mess in so many different ways. Core GDP, removing distortions from imports, inventories, and government spending, was up plus 3% when you add it. We had numbers that, despite what we were handed, we turned them around, and we were getting them really turned around. Gross domestic investment was a whopping 22%. Now, that is a number that people are coming in at numbers. For instance, I just walked in, I heard Samsung is now, because of the tariffs, they're going to build massive facilities in the United States. If we didn't do the tariffs, they wouldn't be doing that. So it takes a little while to get those facilities built, but they're coming in with big, big numbers. They're all coming in with big numbers. We have more monies being spent than at any time in the history of our country. We're up to close to $8 trillion, I think I can say. And really, it's going to be a lot higher than that. Those are just the ones that we know about. 8 trillion.
What's wrong with liking common sense is my question. You don't have to be a part of a party to understand common sense. I just read something that I liked that Casey said because it made common sense to me. I don't even know what part of the party this person is from. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys and why I always keep on saying it. I'm not a Republican. Ha. Not an independent. Ha. Not a Democrat. Ha. Human being. That's why we made this platform, so that we can have somewhere to come. So all of the people that are new, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus because you're misled and you think that I'm part of a certain party. No, I like this platform. And yesterday, it made me a perfect example happened yesterday when they were shouting, they were saying, this is what I feel. And if you feel like you want to kick me off of this platform, you can go right ahead and do that. You know what I said to that person? I was like, I'm not going to do that. Because that right there, with that integrity and the way that you said that and exactly the way that you feel, that's why we made this platform. Because people that feel different should not be silenced just because you feel a certain way. So yes, say what you feel in these comments as long as you're being respectful. I don't got no problem with that. The jokes and all of that, I have no problem with that neither. So y'all, I'm telling you, even the mods, you know, we take a lot of punches over here. Excuse me, co-hosts. We take a lot of punches over here, whether it's the big head jokes, whether it's the tight jacket jokes. I take it all the time because I got to be seen. You guys get a chance to hide in the comments. They always tear me up. Guy watching, playing TV, watching him. You have no idea the stuff that I got to deal with. But it's cool for me because I'll take the punches because that's just the light stuff that we got to take to get the message out. And I'm cool with that. My job is taking that, playing these clips, making sure that I'm interacting with people and making sure that we got a good platform that good content is coming out on. Your job is to go in those comments, follow up on everything that's being said. Yes, you can do it at home alone, but then who are you going to have to follow up with what you have to say? The community here. That's what our bottom line is about. So hopefully that explains that part. And then we're going to get into the networks. We don't care about Fox, MSNBC, CNN. We don't care if it's Indian or Dubai. We just wait for them to stick their head out so we can get the information. And then we as smart people, we determine if it makes sense. That's how we do stuff in the real world. So why do you guys get so caught up in, oh my God, it's Fox. Oh my God, it's MSNBC. Let's let them speak first and then find out what they're saying. Boom, and blow their head off like the rabbit coming out the hole. Just common sense. That's why I like to do this, and that's why I do it every day. Hopefully you guys understand. Do me a favor, if y'all appreciate the content that we're showing so far, go ahead and double tap that screen to get more people over here to let them see what we got, the way that we do our show, because it's still the #1 show between the 6 o'clock until we finish our. Let's keep it moving right now, you guys, because we got a little bit of funny Chinese pushback when it comes down to these internet users that are mocking Trump when it comes down to the tariffs with AI videos of Americans in sweatshops. This is relative to what we talked about last month when we said, if we do bring back manufacturing to our country, how many people are actually going to go work in sweatshops? What would those sweatshops look like? Look what China trying to do to us, y'all. Check this out. They really trying to throw us under the bus with these little AI clips that they made, trying to say that we all fat, we all out of shape, that we couldn't do it. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I kind of took this a little different.
We are seeing growing signs the Trump tariffs are already starting to take their toll in the US and China. So which of the world's 2 largest economies is better prepared to deal with the trade war? CNN's Christy Lou Stout joins us now live from Hong Kong with some answers. Good to see you again, Christy. So how much pain can the people of China handle in the event of a long tariff war with the US?
Rosemary, with the United States and China locking horns over tariffs, an economic pain war is underway. And experts say that China has the capacity to endure it. Watch this.
This will be a fast war.
The battle at Lake Changjin is one of China's biggest ever blockbusters. Commissioned by the Chinese government, it glorifies the Chinese soldiers who fought American troops in the Korean War. Fast forward to today, and China and the US are locking horns in another epic battle.
China needs to make a deal with us. We don't have to make a deal with them.
Be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end.
Trump started this war with China, aiming in part to bring manufacturing back to the US. Chinese netizens mock the idea with AI-generated videos showing a post-tariffs world of...
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. You know what they're trying to say about us here? This is AI generated that they made about us if our factories started to start up again. Do you see this? Do y'all see this?
dingy American factories with downcast workers. Decades of trade have brought bumper profits to both countries, and as US-China trade withers, fortunes are turning. In the US, the price of goods could shoot up, fueling inflation and putting the US at real risk of recession. And in China, a prolonged trade war could put countless factories out of business. The question is, how much pain can the people of China handle in the event of a long trade war with the US?
I think the pain threshold is probably higher for Chinese society. The Chinese government, being an authoritarian government, may have its own advantage because it can more easily reallocate resources.
The Chinese have endured famine, the Cultural Revolution, and more recently, 3 years of strict COVID-19 lockdowns before protesters bravely took to the streets.
Okay. Now, I understand that part, and I believe that part, right? The endurance and all of that stuff over the years. But check this out. With new times, and with new age, and with new people, and with technology, Chinese people ain't trying to deal with that no more. Case in point, perfect example of right here. You see what they're trying to do? Now they're acting like, oh, well, the factories, we're just going to shut this down and ship it somewhere else. We're just going to, it's not that easy because guess what? Once you got a customer that was paying you that much monetary for that long of time, that means that now you're going to have to let off workers. You're not going to be getting those orders in anymore. And that's going to start to hurt backwards. That's going to hurt logistics. It's going to hurt shipping. Like right now, we reported 2 days ago that UPS is now going to fire 20,000 people that worked at UPS. Why? Less trade, less stuff coming in from China, and less business happening. So it's a wave that's happening. So don't think that we're the only ones that's hurting over here. They just be fronting like y'all know what fronting mean, right? Fronting means is when you're acting like you're okay. When you acting, I'm good, I'm all good. Like you have a tuxedo on, but you ain't got no money in your pocket. You know, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like straight fronting. You know what I'm saying? Straight fronting. That's what I'm talking about. So that's basically what they're doing right now. I mean, it's cool to show face, but after a while, the smart Chinese, the people that have cell phones, the ones that aren't scared, the ones that are peed off that they can't pay their bills, and the ones that got houses and mortgages and families, they're coming out into the factories now saying, well, this is what's really going on. This factory got shut down. And you know, Xi Jinping don't like stuff like that to get out because why? They're an authoritarian country and they can keep on pushing people to do stuff. So don't believe the hype when they talking about they're not talking to us and they're not trading with us. They are, because people over there is getting peed off. They're tired of being broke, and they already live in a manner of they don't make as much monetary as we do. Think about it. People in China that work in factories, they don't make a proper wage. They don't make a lot of money. So months and weeks and months of them not working, that hurts everything. They're on the streets sleeping outside right now, believe it or not. Many people don't even have the money to pay rent. 10, 20 days without work over there with them, they're already homeless. Telling you guys straight up, so don't believe the hype, have them thinking that we're the only ones that's biting the bullet over here when it comes down to tariffs. Want to know what you guys got to think, or you think about this. I'm in the comments now, I'm in the comments. What y'all got for me? What y'all got for me in these comments? Okay, those who are saved and believe get rapture. I thought that we were supposed to stay on topic. Memphis, we're New Babylon. This is whatever. Mark, UPS lost their biggest customer, Amazon. That's why. Yes, they did. They definitely did. And that was yesterday's story. Tariffs weren't a problem before Orange, says Corey. We got Memphis that says, not America, redneck. He is from Memphis, so yeah, he hates America. I don't know who's from Memphis, I ain't. Richard says, they aren't homeless already. Many of them have taken to the streets. I played the video 2 days ago. Go watch two days ago episode, Richard. Sean says, because you have a better score. What else? Corey says tariffs weren't a problem before Trump. Question mark, why? Memphis, I don't hate anything. Soundwave 45 says, we know these things happening now. What you gonna do about it? I don't know. What can I do about it? I don't know what I can do about it, but I can report it and let you guys know what's happening, because at a certain point, it's gonna affect us, because it's gonna affect us monetarily in the pockets. We're gonna have to start to eat those tariffs when it comes on this side. Like Temu, anybody order from Temu right now? Go try to order something and think it's the same prices. They're gonna tear you up on the shipping. Same thing's going on with Amazon right now. They changed the shipping and the prices when it comes down to the tariffs on that. Y'all don't believe me? Go try to buy something for from Temu that's like $8. It's gonna wind up coming over here for like 30 bucks. That's not cost effective, and it's not helping us. So that tears up their whole business structure. So what is that doing to their company? It's hurting them, right? And then going backwards, they're not selling, they're not ordering, it's a chain effect. So all you guys in the comments that's just trying to throw monkey wrenches just to have something to dispute about, we're not paying attention to you. I got another clip that I got to show you guys, and I want you to tell me, I'm going to play to a certain part, but I want you guys to let me know if y'all want to watch the rest of this clip or if y'all want me to shut it down because of what's in it. We could get much more information if we play the whole thing, but I know a lot of people probably don't want to stay around for a whole 5 minutes to watch a whole clip. But this is going to be something informative that I think you guys may want to look at, because I don't know what's San Leandro. You guys, anybody in the comments, anybody know where that's at? San Leandro? Because basically, I really don't know where it is, but this is something that happened there. And I think you guys might be interested in checking this out. So yeah, 3 workers were basically KILLED hockey. I'm sorry, just 3 workers lost their lives in the last 10 years. You guys may think, oh, that's not a lot of people, but it really is, especially if you're working at a steel mill. And this steel mill has had reported so many different things happen, amputations and different things happening like that. But let me just show you guys right now, because some people work in some of the hardest of conditions that we have no idea of what they're doing. So this right here is something I want you guys to see. A lot of times you might not see this.
Nearly 10 in the last 8 years. 3 workers have died at a San Leandro company.
Now, we looked at the state agency in charge of workplace safety and found that Cal OSHA does have limited powers and is understaffed. KTVU's Tom Vakar reports.
Working at a metal scrapyard can be a dangerous job. There's large machinery, sharp objects, and heavy loads. It can be so dangerous that 3 men have died at one San Leandro-based company in the last 8 years. Alco Iron and Metal has been in business family-owned since 1953. They have 220 employees and several recycling yards, including San Leandro, San Jose, Stockton, and Vallejo. Cal OSHA records show that since 2017, they've had 3 deaths, all work-related injuries. The most recent was on January 8th. That's when 41-year-old Luis Fernando Guerrero Tlatenchi of Castro Valley was crushed to death while he was trying to fix a broken forklift. KTVU obtained exclusive video of his death, and we have to warn you, it might be hard to watch. The video shows a forklift nosediving onto his body, and then he is seen lying on the ground before his death, where his co-workers rushed to his aid.
You go into shock because you know the person. I was walking towards my machine, and then I said a prayer for him. So it does pretty hurt. It's pretty hurtful to hear, these accidents happening.
Cesar Zamora used to work with Guerrero, and the two were friends.
He was funny. He was very professional, always very smart when it came to mechanic work. He knew his thing.
Investigators from OSHA are currently investigating his death. Roy Alfaro died in March 2022 when a bundle of copper weighing 4,000 pounds fell and crushed him at the Stockton facility. Alberto Anaya died in June 2017 when he was moving a screw conveyor and the wheels caught on a crack in the concrete. A piece of the converter struck him to the floor and he was crushed to death by the machine, OSHA records show. 3 deaths in 8 years is a lot, said Garrett Brown, a former OSHA inspector who personally cited ALCO back in the 1990s.
In the 20-odd years that I worked in the field, this would clearly be an employer with the worst record. This is a unacceptable level of danger to employees that goes back 3 decades. They poisoned their employees in the 90s. They had numerous amputations, according to the Cal OSHA inspections, and they've had 3 fatalities in the last 8 years.
This is when I ask you guys if y'all want to watch the rest of this, because again, you can watch the rest of this by yourself, but we've got a lot of content. Want to know if you guys mind watching the rest of it, because we can move on. We definitely can. What we got here? We got Quantum. Where were too many day protesters for this? Richard says he didn't bother to block the fork mast. What else we got? Mike Thomas says, you damn sure don't walk under it. That's common sense. Derek says, all right, let's shut it down. Y'all want to watch the rest of it or not? I don't care what country it happened in. It's sad. It happened here. What else you guys saying? Natalie says, we are here for news regardless of party affiliation. The name calling is old. We don't even pay attention to them, Natalie. They're going to get aggravated because when you don't pay attention to ignorant people, they get mad and go somewhere else. Sean says, dude think he knows more than everyone else. A true narc incarnate. Okay, what else we got? When you jack up a heavy object, you block it. That was smart right there. Thank you so much. Your quantum reality. Because I'm thinking like this, it's a jack. So like, what could you do to like, but you was right. You block it. You basically put something under it so that if it does slip down, it doesn't harm you. And always, if you guys do work with machinery or anything heavy like this, there is no such thing of being too cautious. That just told me right there that there's no such thing as being too cautious because of how these people lost their lives. I can keep on playing this clip or I can move forward. You guys let me know because we do have more in the clip. We got so much more. Okay, move on. Okay, so Trump was too bad. Mike says people are like, okay, where's the OSHA at? We got one person that says move on. Okay, so you guys are good. All right, y'all got enough for this. Okay. Now we're going to go to ignorance is bliss. We're going to ignorance is bliss right now. Why is it bliss? Because a number of retailers are adding extra fees to stuff that we talked about yesterday. Anybody was here yesterday talking about them $2.50 bag of potato chips that really cost 50 cents? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember we talked about that, right? The 50-cent bag of potato chips is now $2.50. How about we stop buying them and send them damn chips back and all messed up? They probably stay on the shelves because they got all the nasty preservatives and stuff inside of them. But how about we boycott Wise and tell Pringles that we're not paying $2.49 for the little canister this big? Are we rich? Are we crazy? Why are we putting up with this stuff? That's my question to you. Do you have to have a Pringle that damn bad that you're willing to pay damn near $3? How about leave them damn Pringles on the shelf so they can start realizing, you know what? We're going to have to bring these prices down because we getting caught for stealing, allegedly. I want you guys to see this right here. I ain't going for it no more. I've been on their back all month when it come down to trying to be slick and stealing from us when it comes down to adding extra fees.
They're the extra fees
I see that's happening. I'm not happy about it.
that have surged from occasional annoyances.
It's really remarkable how different it is in just the last year.
To a seemingly regular part of every transaction.
They were going to be temporary. They aren't temporary. We're still getting hit with those charges in addition to the news charges.
These surcharges getting tacked on to the bottom of more and more bills. There's now an extra fee if you order eggs at a Waffle House or Denny's.
I'll just stop eating eggs here.
And some retailers importing goods from China, even adding a tariff surcharge.
Fees are like whack-a-mole. One goes down, another one pops up.
Ted Rossman follows credit cards and personal finance at Bankrate.
The bottom line here is companies are looking to raise prices without raising prices. Many seem to feel that if they tack it on as a surcharge, either the customer doesn't notice or they realize that it's for some kind of exceptional circumstance. But
you ever notice when you go to a counter right now, you might buy like a taco or you might buy a pizza. You say, okay, how much is the pizza? No doubt. With the soda, okay, cool. Then they turn that terminal around and the price is right there. And then they ask you if you want to give a tip. A tip for what? All you did was turn the damn terminal around. You about to hand me a pizza. How the hell I got to give you a tip? And then the people be looking at you like this, like to try to make you feel guilty, like to see if you want to give them a tip. You know what I press? Nope. Bing, out of there. You know also what y'all got to stop doing because y'all just so caught up into it so much. Stop using your damn debit card so much. You know why? Because you start doing this. Bing, 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 bing. And you know what you don't see? You don't see your bank account doing this. Yeah, you don't see your bank account doing this. What you need to do, believe it or not, get your damn self some cash. Because once you see that money start going down off of that knot, I bet you calm down then. And a lot of stores, believe it or not, they actually appreciate cash, believe it or not. And because they give you proper change and everything. Let's bring cash back. Hell with all this easy tapping crap, having control of us and making people think, oh, just because you got a debit card, you got some money. You be tapping until you're broke, and next thing you know, you got $3.42 on there, and you can't even go get yourself a candy bar. Real talk. That's what people need to stop doing. Carry cash.
At the end of the day, it's a higher cost. It's a tax on consumers.
One of the most common surcharges, that 3% fee for using a credit card. Store owners saying that's because the card companies take that money from them and they're passing it on to the customers.
What are you going to do?
They're being forced to do it, you feel like?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a choice, right?
Many stores now building that 3% into their prices and offering you a discount if you pay in cash.
You see an increasing number of small businesses implementing credit card surcharges, basically accounting for the fact that it costs them 2 or 3% to process those transactions.
Yeah, so you go into the store with a debit card, you only want to buy a lighter, you only want to buy a candy bar, right? But you're using your debit card, right? Bing! So now you're paying $2 for the bar and maybe about another 50 to 75 cents just for the processing because that store owner don't want to pay for that. So you get that. So now you're paying $3 for something. You might as well carry cash. I'm telling you, y'all don't pay. Oh, it's convenient. I can just tap. And what is that? And let's look at it for what it actually is. Let's be real. It's ignorance. And don't get mad at me for calling somebody ignorant when you're being ignorant. This is ignorance right here. When you ignore something that you know is not going to be beneficial to you. Or you know what? I don't even feel like whatever. So here go my card. That whole sentence and the whole display, that's what we're going to explain to you guys as the word ignorance, because that's being ignorant, straight up and down. You're the only one that's losing your money. So, you know, it's y'all, not you, but the person that's doing that. But I say, don't do that. Carry cash, be smarter, have the wherewithal for what you're doing. Maybe only have a credit card or something like that for online bill payments and only put certain amount of monetary on that card for those issues. Don't be so used to tap, 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 tap. Because when you get to the last tap, you're going to be like, damn, where'd all my money go? You've been tapping all month. I'm in the comments. Let's go. What else y'all got here? Mad Hatter says, never use debit, pen, or gas pump. The car companies make money. CB says, we have a business and never charge extra. That's a cost of doing business. Casey says, yo, does the host always dress up? I wish more men wore suits. Okay, thank you so much. What we got over here? We got bruh, love your cut. Love you too. Okay, what we got over here? Deport all aliens says, so not cool. What we got? Liam says, brother, what else we got? Quantum says, many stores have been charging the processing charge for a couple of years now. Thank you for staying on point, Quantum. And that was a banger right there. You had a basketball in your hand. That would have been a Jordan dunk. Mike Thompson says, hell, I went into a store to buy a water, went to use my debit card. They told me I have to buy $50 to use my card. Damn, Mike, you serious? Yo, Mike, where you from, bro? Let me know where you from and where that store was at so everybody can know what's up with that. Liam, okay, thank you so much. Show love to the channel, you guys. What else y'all got? Arjun says, how is 3% of $2.50? LOL. Film, look addiction. Listen, Johnny Cash. What else y'all got over here? Stop being wasteful, consumers. Protect your money. It's not going as far as it used to. That's right. You guys got to stop being wasteful. That's a great word right there. I ain't going to say ignorant. I'm going to say wasteful. Context Matter says, using cash maintains budget discipline. Thank you, Context. Garden says fast forward. What else y'all got? Okay. I am a cash girl, says Cassie. Cassie says, I'm a cash girl. You ain't gonna get her like that. Cassie like, how much is it? Hold on a minute. Here. And you know what else you gotta have when you got cash, y'all? I'm just gonna be straight up about it. Get yourself some protection. Yeah. Get y'all some protection. Yeah. Get y'all safe. Put y'all money in the safe. Get some gold bars. Make sure that safe is a safe place. Get y'all some real stuff that y'all know y'all can control. All that Bitcoin and stuff like that, y'all can do what y'all got to do. But I recommend gold, get a safe, and get you some security. That's how I say it. That's what I'm thinking. Because I don't want to trust my money in no bank. Next thing you know, you go to Chase and they talking about, oh, the bank is closed, or the bank this, the bank that. Let me say something. How the hell you go to an ATM automatic teller machine at nighttime and they got a sign on the outside that say they close until 9 a.m.? What the hell you got an ATM for, Chase? Yeah, because you want to hold our dough so the next day you get that extra dough of having it, right? We're not stupid. So anybody that worked with Chase, you know what they did in New York? There's no ATM in the evening. No, they put a piece of paper on the door that said, this is temporary. That piece of paper been up there for 2 years. So as far as you trying to go at nighttime to specific Chases to try to get your money out the ATM machine, they won't even let you in the door. Now we're going to keep on going. Let me show you how you would get in the door if you was one of these car theft jackers or robbers that got this little dial pad that they use. I want you guys to be careful about this because there's many people that are here that drive. You have a Kia, you might have a Toyota, you might have a Ford, whatever car you have right now. If it's digital and it has an access panel under the dashboard, you guys got to be so careful because there's no keys needed now to steal your car. There's a high-tech theft ring that's going on right now, and the most valuable models that are being stolen, I'm just going to show you guys how they're doing it and what's going on with it because I know many people here drive and there's a lot of technology that's being added right now that many thieves are being very careful and they're learning. So what we got to do is learn what they're learning to be careful.
On their hand, they can steal your locked and secure vehicle without even needing your keys.
The crime rising in Milwaukee involves more than 80% of vehicles. Investigative reporter James Stratton shows you how it works and how you can protect your car.
Everybody from Milwaukee, come on to the front of the congregation, everybody. Milwaukee, it's happening in your state. Let's go.
You are riding along with a Shorewood police officer called to Capitol Drive near the Milwaukee River for something suspicious. See the light flashing in the driver's seat? Police say the thief is programming a key fob to steal that blue Infiniti. They already broke the sunroof to get to the driver's seat, and as the officer drives back by, the silver Infiniti, already rekeyed, takes off, and the officer follows. Police say the crew also stole Austin Washington's Infiniti nearby shortly before.
You feel violated, right? Somebody was in your car, going through your stuff, stole your car.
Looks like he busted out the sunroof. Police say the same thieves broke into his car, smashing the sunroof, climbing in. Video shows the brake lights turn on and the car take off. His keys still in his apartment.
I thought I was doing everything right with the information that I knew about vehicles. I had no idea about these fob reprogrammers.
Thieves use a key programmer, typically one like this from the brand Autel.
They can basically break in the window, open the door.
Itai Rahamim owns Milwaukee Automotive Locksmith, specializing in helping people who actually need new car keys, shows us how it works.
Hook up that programmer.
Hooking the device to the onboard diagnostic port on every American car, typically used by your mechanic. In the wrong hands, they plug in the device and signal the car to start.
We can just read the data for the car. It should take a couple seconds.
Thieves either have this attached to the device and don't need a key, or program dummy keys on the fly, which is what police say they did in the Shorewood thefts.
It's that quick. It's just that quick. It's that simple and that quick. And yeah, I can put the car in drive and take off.
We timed it 40 seconds from the time Rahamim opened the door to when he started the car. Specific car brands are more vulnerable because they start immediately after programming the key.
07, 09 till about 2017.
Of Honda.
Honda, Nissan, Dodge, Chryslers, Lexus, Toyotas.
Ford and GM don't start right away, which makes them harder to steal. Rahamim says thieves are holding locksmiths at gunpoint to get their hands on the programmers.
It's just sad that it's really come down to this, that they targeting us to be able to commit those crimes.
Milwaukee police say this type of car theft is on the rise so far this year.
I know at least of 19 reported cases.
The majority, Nissans, according to Sergeant Efrain Cornejo, stolen in this nationwide crime trend.
All right, y'all. Y'all already know about the Kia boys, the way that they reprogram it. Now it's everything else and the way that they doing it. What we try to do over here is what? We get fat on our brains so that we get smart, so we don't get caught up like that. There is no real preventative measure in order to do that, or in order to beat this. All you could really do is keep your eye on your car if you're in a certain neighborhood. Because what? You're not expecting nobody to break in your sunroof and stick something in there and reprogram your car, and next thing you know, they're driving off. It's pretty crazy right here. I want you guys to be smart and know what these new criminals are up to. We back in the comments, y'all. What y'all got to say about this? Mike says, I said that when they came out with the push button start. There you go, Mike. But Quantum says, foreign car companies need to do better. Kendra says, Tugas, if you own anything smart, that can be done as well. Yep, you damn sure. It can be reprogrammed. That's right, Kendra. Eduardo says, if everyone had loads of money and home theft would go through the roof. There you go. Theft would go through the roof. What you got, y'all? What else y'all got? Says Tugas, 100%. We headed straight into a digital police state governed by their AI god. Casey says, Mad Hatter, laugh my ass off smart. K Michelle says, this is exactly why I don't drive these toys, because they are toys. Mad Hatter says, they never came back, LOL. What else you got? Mad Hatter says, I slept in the car with a machete across my chest. Yo, Tugas Art said, yo, car theft is not my major concern with digital cars. It's overloads like Elon Musk and agencies able to spy on me or on and off engine from HQ. Ooh, okay. Mad Hatter says, man, I remember when I lived in Yonkers, they tried to steal my car. Yeah, Yeah, Mad Hatter said he slept with a machete across his chest. They probably was like, yo, whatever kind of brand the car his was, they like, yo, that's such and such. Don't go next to that shit. There's some crazy dude in there with a machete, with the machete. He had the machete. Yo, Mad Hatter, are you Jamaican? Because y'all, them Jamaicans is crazy for having the machetes, boy. We're going to keep it going, y'all, because Trump holds an event at the White House and he announces new business investments. And he also talks about Apple bringing in $500 million, talks about Samsung and many opportunities that's going to come to the United States. I was wondering about this because at first they always was talking about automotive. They kept on talking about, power and energy and stuff like that. So I always wondered, what are we going to do when it comes down to people like you and I? Are we finally going to start to feel some of this, feel some of that?
Back the most beautiful words, I always say, made in the USA, the most beautiful words. We're going to have much bigger are the business leaders. It's not even close. I say that to my friends, the politicians. You have the greatest business leaders in the world here, so it's an honor. This week we're celebrating the most successful first 100 days of any administration in American history. We're thrilled to welcome to the White House dozens of the world top leaders of all kinds, but in particular business leaders. And since the election, the companies represented in this room have collectively announced more than $2 trillion in new investments, and we have a total of close to $8 trillion all told. And there's never been anything like that in this country. We've never had anything close. I would say if you looked at the last administration, probably for 4 years, they did maybe less than one. And we've done almost 8. I would say we'll be above 8 in a period of 2 months. So something happened. I think two things happened. November 5th happened, and November 5th gave you tariffs, intelligently used tariffs and various other forms of incentive. But it's really amazing. I don't think there's ever been anything like this anywhere in the world. Together, we're going to bring back the most beautiful words. I always say made in the USA, the most beautiful words. We're going to have made in the USA like we haven't had before in a long time. In addition to the business leaders whose companies I will mention in just a moment, we have some great people, great senators. Marcia, where are you? Where are you, Martha? Marcia, thank you very much. Marcia Blackburn, Bill Cassidy. Bill, thank you, Bill. Ashley Moody. Ashley, thank you. And John Husted. John, thank you very much. And Representatives Byron Donalds, Buddy Carter, Rob Whitman, Mark Alford, Mike Rogers, Richard Hudson, and Abe Hamadeh. Thank you all very much. We have Mike Kehoe, governors, Jim Pillen, Kevin Stitt, war on American energy, pushed massive tax hikes and gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. In Biden's final year, the United States had the worst trade deficit ever recorded, and we lost 106,000 manufacturing jobs. Other than that, he's done a fantastic job. But now all that is changing, and all that's changing very fast, because we finally have the president who wants to put our country first. You have a president who believes in America first. In the first quarter GDP numbers just out today, core GDP, now we're removing distortions from imports, inventories, and government spending, was up plus 3%. But this is Biden's economy because we took over on January 20th. And I think you have to get us a little bit of time to get moving. But this.
Yeah, first 100 days, you guys, reports bringing things up about new companies that's basically coming in. Hopefully you guys know. It looks like a lot of money. 8 months, 2 months, $8 trillion. That's a lot right there. Even the Democrats gotta be honest about that. Again, don't try to beat me up. Not a Republican, not a Democrat, not an independent. I'm just here creating this network for all of us to have somewhere to chime in and say what we got to say. Now we're going to keep it moving because I don't know if you guys know and if you care, but I don't want to say it like that. But yesterday, there was a major fight battle in Israel, and there was a wildfire, and it took down a lot of land, and they basically have it under control now, but it happened yesterday, and it was a huge wildfire. I definitely want to make sure that we report on everything that a lot of people are not speaking about, because that's what we do here.
Now to the wildfire emergency in Israel. Firefighters are battling what officials say are likely the largest fires in the nation's history. Our foreign correspondent, Tom Sufi-Burge, is on the scene for us. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Michael. Yeah, these now blackened and charred hillsides are actually still smouldering over in the distance there. The flames torching around 5,000 acres of land here just west of Jerusalem. And we've been watching in the last few moments as planes have been circling overhead, dumping fire retardant onto these hills. The flames raging out of control Wednesday. People abandoning their vehicles on a major highway as fire crews race to contain the blaze. Israel's Air Force with this impressive view from above as they drop blocks of fire retardant. The winds yesterday hitting 50 miles an hour with the flames spreading so quickly, some 10,000 people were told to leave their homes. The good news, guys, this morning is that temperatures are down significantly, as are those winds, and it now looks like fire crews broadly have the fire under control. The cause, Robin, is being investigated.
But it's encouraging that it looks like they do have it under control, as you said, right?
Yeah, the cause is being investigated. I know a lot of guys in the comments, a lot of people in the comments may have their own ideas where this came from. So I'm going in the comments. I want to know what you guys got to say about that, or if you even knew that that was going on. Okay, I think if it's very weird coincidence that we are having wildfires, and so is Israel, and many were man-made. Did you hear about the one that happened in New Jersey a few months ago? They're trying to say it happened because of s'mores. Yeah, s'mores. That's the one that I didn't want to comment on because I had said the same thing, but I didn't want to be wrong in my decision. Main Albert says Natalie reminded me of California. Exactly. Kendra says, okay, Kendra, Got that thumbs up, number one. Quantum, oh, nice. And hoping that the furniture business comes back to North Carolina. Yes, because they had those wildfires. Okay, me too. That's right, Kendra. Mad Hatter says, I've never heard of wildfires all over the world until 2 years ago. Okay, then they're trying to blame it also on homeless, on migrants, people that don't have nowhere to live. I'm just going to call it what I'm going to call it right now. I'm going to say it like this. Because I normally 9 times out of 10, the first thing that you come up with, if you have common sense, it's probably what it is. I'm thinking that it has to do with a lot of possible real estate, possibly people wanting to take over those places. Possibly they want that land to not be worth as much as it is so that they can come in and take over it and they'll be the ones that have it. Who wants burned down land and property and homes and land like that? People that may want to develop. Think about that. Don't get mad at me. That's just my idea. I don't know if it's true. What y'all think? Could that be the possibility? What y'all got? Your Quantum says guerrilla warfare. Okay, Ecuador says companies need cheap labor, all ready to work for barely anything. What else you got over here? Kendra says, y'all remember the 150 drones came around before the fires. Ooh, yo, Kendra, that was a bomb. Rebecca says, I agree. Sure did. We already know that they're doing this. Okay, there you go. Mad Hatter says, I've never heard of these wildfires until 2 years ago. I said it again. It's all about the money. You guys know what's going on. And that's why I love this platform. That's why I come in. Because at least for an hour or so, I can talk to people that got common sense. That's why I made this platform as well. How about that? We're going to keep on moving forward because yet again, we got more senseless, stupid adolescents, young adults outside at 5 a.m., 5 o'clock in the morning. Where you gonna be? Outside on the corner. You better get yourself together while you're wasting all your time. 5 o'clock in the morning. Where you gonna be? That's a one-hit wonder that never made it. Don't even remember who made it. Could have been, I can't remember who made that song. Anybody in the comments that know that song, I know I just got you. I just hit you with a crazy out of nowhere single that you ain't heard in a long time. Anybody know that song, 5 o'clock in the morning? Keep on moving, y'all, because these adolescents were outside 5 o'clock in the morning in Times Square. What they doing outside at 5 o'clock in the morning? Let me tell you something. Nothing good happens at 5 o'clock in the morning, especially in New York. How do I know? I have to deal with buildings and management and stuff like that. Anytime you go outside, you see somebody, you see this at 5 o'clock in the morning in New York. Dum, 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 dum. You see filler, you see crackheads, you see fiends, you see all types of crazy stuff. You see fights, all types of nonsense. So guess what? 5 o'clock in the morning in Times Square, there winds up being a pow. Some teenage adolescent decided that they want to steal some stuff from a food cart, and the food cart vendor ran behind the guy to try to get it back from them. They took it back, got in a little scuffle. As the vendor went back, he decided to pull out his weapon and pow. That's the guy that was winding up, got locked up the other day when it comes down to the Times Square shooter. I want you guys to see this. You can see it's basically ignorance, and that's what we're dealing with now. You guys really got to understand.
Tonight we're getting a first look at the man accused of pulling the trigger. Let's get right out to Fox 5's Linda Schmidt, who is live tonight in Times Square. Linda.
That's right, and that shooting happening after a brawl with a food vendor right here, right where we're standing, in the heart of Times Square.
No police. Thank you, Kathy Joku Hoku. I'm telling you, everybody, when y'all, I want to go to New York. Let's go to Times Square. Let's go. Yeah. I've been telling my cousins, all of them, I can't wait to get to New York. I'm like, for what? I'm ready to come to South Carolina in Jenkinsville, where there's only a population of 458 people. I'd rather be down there than with all these crazy people. Let's keep it going, you guys.
Now, the charges against the shooter include attempted murder and assault. Go ahead, take a look at this video here because this was shot just a short time ago. Police identifying the suspect as 21-year-old Emmanuel Charles of Harlem. Now, as he was brought out of the Midtown North Precinct, he said his actions were self-defense. Police say it was a much different story. The NYPD says that he was with a large group of young people. That included some young girls. About 4:45 in the morning this morning in Times Times Square at 47th Street and 7th Avenue. Now, the group got into a brawl with a food cart vendor. This video was recorded by a witness, and we put a white circle around the vendor so that you can see who he is. He's wearing a red hat. The exact details are still not totally clear tonight, but they ended up in an argument. As the tussle, though, was breaking up, police say the shooter then suddenly just pulled out a gun, and he fired about 6 shots, hitting a food cart. Now, you can see the bullet hole in the side of the cart. And he also hit 29-year-old vendor Ayman Gazale in the arm. Well, Fox 5 spoke with the witness who recorded this video.
It seems to be was that someone grabbed something from the vendor, and the vendor chased after him to grab it back. The one thing, that vendor did have a knife, so maybe he got in trouble for that. But the thing is, it was pretty much over at that point, and they were walking away, and then the kid just decided to start shooting in the direction of the vendor.
And once again, that vendor was shot in the arm. He is in stable condition, according to police tonight. In the meantime, police are in the process of still questioning as many as 3 other suspects. But tonight, the shooter, they say, a 21-year-old from Harlem, is now under arrest.
All of them need to be arrested because they were jumping the food cart dude. Y'all saw when they was chasing behind him, trying to defend whatever. This is the ignorance that happens. Yeah, one person takes something, you go after, and then everybody want to jump you like you did something wrong for trying to defend your cart or what you do to try to bring food back to your family. This is ignorance at its supreme level. And my question is this: where was the police? This is Times Square, right? How did it lead up to this? Ain't they supposed to be on the corner right there with 1,000 people around? Times Square, right? 5 o'clock in the morning. Perfect example of what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's a free-for-all in New York. You walking in New York, you get robbed, you get jacked, that's on you. Because what's going to happen is the incident's going to happen, and you're going to have to deal with it later after you get dealt with. You get robbed, whatever like that. Police officer, this happened to me, instead of, oh, there go some cops. Or police cars is around. No. You'd be lucky to see a police car in New York. I'm telling you. Hour go by, 2 hours. You ain't gonna see no police. I'm telling you right now, I'm in the comments. What y'all got to say? What y'all got to say? Kendra, Main Arbor, you're definitely onto something. Moses says, play dumb games and win stupid prizes. Wow, womb, would have guessed. Caveman. Andrew says, last time I was in Times Square, there was 10 to 15 cops at least. Every time I've been there, actually. When the last time you been there, homeboy? Because on that corner, there was nobody. There wasn't nothing. Nothing. There wasn't really nothing. Nothing. There was no cops there that day because there was pow going on, and your man got bopped in the head 3 or 4 times by a gang. What else we got? Andrew says, that was years ago. You ain't lying, Andrew. It was years ago, because guess what? A lot of police quit. When you can't make rank, when you can't keep collars, they quit. And then you get 17 and 19-year-old looking police that can't even fit their damn hat. XX Kitty says, ignorance at its finest. What else we got? Alejandro says, when did this happen? A couple of days ago. Stupid is as stupid does. Okay. Then we got Main Arbor says, Kendra, I have a conspiracy theory of where those 300 kids went. Lord have mercy. We're going to keep on going, you guys, because it don't just happen here. It happens in London, too. Luckily, these kids only got bakery items because they went to try to break inside this bakery to try to get some money and try to steal. They basically was really driving all around, breaking in places or trying to gain entry. This is what kids do. This is what the kids do nowadays, especially when they have no home training or when they, I'm just going to go there, or when their parents are ex-crackheads, ex-fiends, and don't have no control of the kids. Or maybe the kids are just out there on their own because the parents is gone. It is what it is. So now you got kids all over. It's not just here in New York. It's happening in London too. You know what happened in London? They broke into a bakery. They couldn't get no money. So they stole baked goods. Whatever they can get their hand on, they were stealing muffins, whatever. Check this out. And the youngest one, he probably had to be like 9 years old. So the older ones are teaching him what to do. Check this out. This is what actually happens. You got these people out here grooming these kids to do stuff that they're not supposed to be doing, and they're doing it all over. Check this out.
A bakery break-in, all caught on camera. They pulled up, hopped out, and broke in.
Yeah, Mike Rogers back on the desk now. Half a dozen kids helping themselves to dozens of desserts, Mike.
Yeah, and one and two.
My bad. This is not London. This is California. I guess a place called London. Everybody in Cali, come on to the front. Come on, Cali. Get up here. Come on. Los Angeles.
We are talking about a very young group of suspects here that the Long Beach Police Department are currently looking for. This bakery has been in business for 37 years down in Long Beach, and she says, remarkably, this is the first time that this happened to her, and she's very discouraged to see that the people that broke in are pretty young. This is actually a video from down the street or next door to the bakery where they tried to get into first. You see one of them throwing a rock, the other throwing a pipe wrench there as well, unsuccessfully breaking the windows. Then they come to her business. That's when they were able to shatter the front windows. Here's the thing, though. All the damage they did, they got away with nothing. There's no cash for them to take. All they took were some of the pastries that were left in the display case. And you see all of them kind of file in here. And I want you to really get a look at just how young some of these people are. They're all wearing masks in the video here. And you see a couple of them after they were only able to get some pastries and other donuts, perhaps. They go right back out the window they just broke. You'll see as one of them here comes.
So now we, of course, know what this is. This is young kids being vandals, right? But this is how it starts. And then you got the older ones telling the younger ones what to do. And I'm going to tell you the truth now. Sweet Jill, she ain't feeling so sweet about them breaking inside of her bakery. She want them to go to jail.
Back in, look how small and young that person looks. They go back in, they grab the wrench that they used to break the window, and they take off. Tonight I had a chance to talk to the business owner, the founder of Sweet Jill's Bakery, about what she would say to these kids.
I want them to suffer consequences. Most definitely. I want them to suffer. I want their parents to suffer. Whatever way that should be, justice. It is a crime. I don't care their age. If that's the image they want to present themselves at such a young age, I fear for their future. Something has to stop.
Yeah, Jill says right there.
I think somebody sent that little kid back in there to get that wrench. If so, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, because I've been around it, where older men would groom younger boys to do stuff like that because they don't get the real jail time because they're juveniles. They get right out of jail. And of course, you guys did see that there was a car that pulled up and let those kids out. Did you guys notice that?
That didn't stop them from opening. They said they were sweeping the glass before 5:30. This happened at 4:08 in the morning. Before 5:30 came around, they were able to serve some of their customers. Because they've been in business for so long in Long Beach, many of their customers were very distraught about all of this. Jill told me that even some local school staff are going to try to look at the video to see if they recognize any of these very young suspects in that video. Meanwhile, the Long Beach Police Department has taken a burglary report, and they are actively trying to find these kids. But
now, again, I know it's only a break-in. They only stole some muffins. But again, it's preparation for stuff that could be possibly happening moving forward. Not only that, who was in that car? Was that somebody grooming these kids to do something like that? I'm in the comments, y'all. What y'all got on this? We got what's non-binary. Natalie says, exactly. They don't get much punishment if they're under 16. There you go, Natalie. Okay, Kendra says, if you're watching, if so, watch your typing. Okay, Geo says, I'm non-binary. Okay, Geo, do your thing. What you got? Main Arbor says, Kendra, kick Geo, she's trolling. Oh, he out of here right now. You could do that too. You ain't gotta tell her to tell me. You got the power too. Wait a minute, who that? Main Arbor, stop playing with me. Main Arbor, you can say it too. Stop playing, you a host. Main Arbor, you can be like, bang, out of here. Because guess what? They're going just because you told somebody else to do it. By third party, I actually heard you, and we made that happen. Black Link, they in the bakery. You know it's nitrous in there, right? Ooh, nitrous. Brandy says we all just close to 2050 as we're 2000. Okay, y'all. What else? Geo out of here, Kendra. We got him. Truly says OGS never let this happen where I came up. What else we got? If you think that these people are so innocent, let them stay at your house. You support them. You take responsibility for them. Yeah, that CCX wouldn't happen. I bet it wouldn't. Okay, we're going to keep it moving right now because y'all already know what we got to do. Y'all, you know it's time for the fun. Y'all know what we got to do. We always got to have one. I always try to search for it. And do y'all know what a roux is? If you're from Australia, you know what a roux is, right? And if you got common sense, you already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a roux, a kangaroo. I didn't know that they can be domesticated. I didn't know that people could own one. But guess what? There was a runaway kangaroo on the loose, and her name just happened to be Sheila. Y'all remember Crocodile Dundee? How all of the Australian men call women Sheilas. Yeah, well, Sheila shut down the Alabama interstate. So everybody in Alabama, come on over here, you guys. I want y'all to check out Sheila as she done shut down the Alabama interstate, trying to let everybody know that there are kangaroos in Alabama as well.
Where are you going, buddy?
This runaway kangaroo named Sheila shut down a stretch of Interstate 85 in Macon County, Alabama. The highway was closed for the safety of drivers. The animal's owner and state troopers were able to capture her using a tranquilizer dart. The owner says Sheila escaped from her enclosure and she's back home, safe and sound.
Sheila, get your ass out the road. Where you going, Sheila? Sheila was trying to go somewhere. She had an appointment. I don't know where Sheila was trying to go, but Sheila didn't want to be in captivity no more. She was trying to bounce her way back to Australia, right? Kendra dying laughing. Black Ling says, oh, Sheila, let me love you to the morning light. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Sheila. That's my joint right there. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, Sheila. I know what you do. That's what's up. Black, that's what's up. Good looking Black. That was fire. Moses says, ha ha, you know you are the only one. Jammin says, Rena, what else we got? Close it down, the whole interstate. Damn, Main Arbor says, oh, Sheila. Natalie loved the jam session. Alejandro says, yo, what we got? Batty Lynn says, kangaroo would kick my ass. Y'all already know, them kangaroos be like this. Y'all remember them kangaroos be like, and they know how to box too. You put some gloves on them. Anybody ever see the one that was in the Bugs Bunny movie where he was boxing? Hilarious. And that was a good way to do it. Y'all already know how we do. We got to laugh. We got to enjoy life. It's Friday, y'all. Y'all have a fantastic day out there. Y'all go outside and get some air. Drink some water. And we're going to do the cheat right now. Y'all ready? In the count of 3, I need everybody to follow behind me so that we all can feel the same way at one time together. No matter where you are in the world, what state you are, I want you to pay attention to what Bugatti's doing right now. We're all going to do the same thing. On the count of 3, y'all ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. That's free. And it make you feel good right there, don't it? Smile for no reason. All the way up now. Come on. Smile. I want to see it. There you go. I don't want to see it in the comments. I want you to do it and see how different your body feels. You feel that? That's what I'm talking about. That's how I want you guys to feel. And no, you know what? You can do that at any time that you want, and it makes you feel good. That's right. Bust out into a dance move. Put on a suit for no damn reason. This is your life. Your life is what you make it. Don't let nobody tell you what to do. You guys have fun and enjoy what you're doing and get out there. Be active. And another thing, don't worry about no problems because problems present opportunities. Problem will tell you part of the solution by what the problem is. You ever think about that? I got a problem paying my rent. Well, if you get a damn job, you can pay your rent. Can't get around it. So guess what? Problems present opportunities. Just pay attention to what the solution is, you guys. And also, like I told y'all earlier, I'm going to help out a little bit too with the talent search. This is Show Your Talent. That means that everybody from the 5 boroughs of New York has the chance to make $250 in cash. Y'all come over to the store I tell y'all to meet me at. I'm going to be the one that's hosting this event, right? Y'all pull up. I know how to sing, Bugatti. Hi, 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 party. Hi, 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 hey, boo. Or you might just do the running man. You might know how to work out. You might know how to do a picture. You might know how to make a bust. You might be a producer. Whatever your talent is, I want to see it. And if you beat the rest of the people, you're going to make $250 in cash. After that, we're going to have a grand finale where everybody comes from all 5 boroughs where you could win up to $1,000. I can't wait to be handing somebody $1,000 like, yo, you won. Bomb! Somebody gonna be like, yo, I actually won $1,000, man. That's dope. I can do this. I can't wait to give it to you. All you got to do is go to the website www.drinkbigdrip.com or send me an email at info@drinkbigdrip.com. And guess what that does? That means that you automatically into the talent search and you got a chance to win. I don't care what your talent is. Whatever your talent is, I want to see it. If somebody tell you could sing, come on over and show me. Somebody say you can fry some chicken. I want somebody to taste it and let me know if it's good. I don't care what you do because that's what we're doing. Also, you got a business, you're a barber, a mobile dog groomer. I don't care what you do. Send over your postcards, your flyers. I'm gonna put it up in the post section so everybody here can see it because that's what we do over here at Our Bottom Line. We share in this platform. Last but not least, another way to make some money, 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 money. Some people got to have it. And if you got to have it, go into the description area, fill out one of them surveys because I made sure that there was up to $500 worth of surveys in the description area today. That means you fill out a survey, you got a chance to make $500. I'll make $25 once you complete it, and we all happy. That's what I want you guys to do. Also, don't forget, we're here every day. This is going to be your last chance right here to double tap that screen if y'all appreciate the content. Yes, we got some humps that we had to get over, but I hope you guys look at what happened earlier as the perfect example of keep on moving. Don't stop. Don't stop. You got a problem, stick in there, keep on moving. Trying to get to the train and the train look like it's about to pull off. Don't even stop. Keep running. The doors might open back up. Fuck it. Bust into the door. Do what you got to do. Keep on moving. Don't let nobody stop you from doing what you got to get to and from you completing your goal. And with that being said, y'all already know what it is. Y'all could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, same 6 o'clock hour, same 6 o'clock time, y'all know what it is. Do me a favor, double tap. If you have not joined already, let's go ahead and join, become a member, subscribe to the channel. Till tomorrow, you guys, y'all already know what it is. Get 'em! One. Peace.